All right, my beautiful friends, it is still Wednesday, April 17th, 2019. Yeah, this is my post-market wrap-up, but it's going to be a little different today. I'm going to cover things slightly, different than I have usually. So this title, Symphony of Lies, it's an ugly symphony. It really is. But we're going to talk about it and try to make some sense of this. So let's start off with the basics. Closing bell went off like 30 seconds ago. Markets had a triple-digit swing today in the Dow. However, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished fractionally in the negative. The NASDAQ finished fractionally in the negative. The biggest losers here, number one, the S&P 500, down almost 0.25%, and the Russell 2000, the small caps, got hit the hardest, down almost 1%. Why is that important? Well, the Russell 2000, the small caps, these are more or less companies based here, right in the United States. Why did they take the hardest hit today? Because our economy is booming. You know that. I will not change the narrative, no matter what happens. So let's... Again, so what we're going to do is I'm going to read a few things and why this is going to be a little different. And after I read it, I'm going to comment. So let's start off with this here, because we got all kinds of news today, and I mean all kinds of news. Let's start off with this one here. This is no surprise, or at least it should not be a surprise to you. I'm going to just read it. Wall Street mega banks post windfall quarterly profits as outstanding consumer debt now exceeds $4 trillion for the first time in history. Well, I'm happy for the banks. We are definitely making banks great again. There's no doubt about it. And the American citizen is buried beyond their eyeballs in debt. Loan defaults are on the rise, but it doesn't matter. Banks are doing great. Now, why does it not matter? Because stocks are higher. And I explained to you that as long as the financials are showing strength, and again, windfall profits here, well, that's it. The market's going to love it. Energy as well. Let's talk about energy real quick. So we all understand that there was a congressional resolution. Pay attention to this. There was a congressional resolution to end U.S. military presence in Yemen. However, this was vetoed by our president. I want to put a little light on that because it plays right into what's going on with crude oil going higher, 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 higher. There's no inflation, though. You know that. I will not change that narrative either. Let me read this to you. Actually, before I do that, what do you know to be the principal natural resources in Yemen? I'm going to give you one guess. Okay. It is crude oil and also natural gas. So the real reason why we are backing the Saudis, understand, we're sending the Saudis tens of billions that we know of, it's probably in the hundreds of billions of dollars in weapons for the Saudis to fight the rebels. It's a civil war over there, from what I understand. But regardless of that, how do you feel about, at least, let's talk about what we know, not what we're speculating on. Tens of billions of your money is being sent to the Saudis so they can arm themselves to fight in Yemen. You like that? I don't like that very much, personally, and it disgusts me that the president would veto this congressional resolution. But again, it has to play together. He's got to kiss the multiple asses of those in Saudi Arabia. The president knows who he has to answer to. Now, let's move forward. We got the Fed's beige book today, and you can't make this stuff up if you tried. This is their words, not Greg Mannarino's and not anybody else's. This is the Fed. Okay. Growth remains, are you ready for this? Sit the freak down. Slight to moderate. U.S. economic growth remains slight to moderate. Does that sound to you like a booming economy that's firing on all cylinders, that's as good as it gets? Lies, lies, and a symphony of lies. Yeah. Okay. I just don't even know what here. We're getting warnings from some pretty big companies here on profit margins. They're expecting lower stock prices. I say they're wrong. Stocks will continue higher here because of the promise of rate cuts, quantitative easing, the financials, windfall profits, energy. Energy is going to be propped up, so it's going to pull stocks with it until we hit the wall. We're not ready to hit a wall. Period. Just ain't happening. We also understand that industrial production has declined for the last 3 consecutive months. Crickets from the president. He will not tell you that. You're not supposed to know. That's pretty incredible, don't you think? All right, look, and then this is one of those things that gets underneath my skin, and I mean in a big way. Pay attention to this, and I won't, string you along any further. This is supposed to be good news. All right? So this is good economic news. Are you ready? The U.S. trade deficit fell. 49.4 billion in February, 1 month. The lowest level since June 2018. This is well below what the economists had expected. So let's see. We lost nearly $50 billion because of the trade deficit in 1 month. But in this twisted reality, this is good news. You're supposed to smile and cheer about it. Just so you know, you should be really happy. Be happy because I'm happy. In this symphony of lies, this is supposed to be good. Anyway, look, I could go on and on with this, and I'm not even going to do it anymore. So look, what's the bottom line? The bottom line is we haven't heard a word of truth actually it started back in the Obama administration. It was just handed off to President Donald Trump, who's going to continue to fist feed us with lies. He's going to continue forcing you to finance wars that are being run by the Saudis. The Yemen war is being led by the Saudis, and you are bankrolling it, and you can't do a goddamn thing about it. Please excuse my language. I'm sorry I said that, but it's true. You can't do a thing about it. You're just dead, and you got to sit there and smile and fund it because you have no choice. Lastly, let's talk about something, well, maybe you should know. When the mob rules, you have ignorance. When a state is run by a religion, like Saudi Arabia, you get fanaticism. When a government rules, you get tyranny. You understand? These are the things that our forefathers warned us about. Well, look around you. How does it look? Is that what you see? Anyway, with that said, this guy loves you. Again, forgive my language at the end there. It was uncalled for, all right? Can you let that go? Pay attention to the rest of the stuff I said here, because I know some of you are going to focus solely on what I said because you need to be distracted, and you're going to use that as a distraction. No. Greg said blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't think about anything else because that's all that's important. See you in the morning.